Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video I am going to be doing a sort of 90s inspired autumnal look. So we're going to be doing a very natural soft skin, a matte one colour all over the eye, a brown toned lip combo that I've been absolutely loving recently. So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you are new here, then hello, my name is Millie. I am posting every single day in October and everything that I do on this channel here is affordable and cruelty free. I'm always testing new products, creating different looks, so if that sounds interesting I would love it if you would subscribe down below. But let's just get started, shall we? I'm going to be starting with the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty primer. Obviously I've just done my skincare, so my skin is looking extra juicy, but I'm gonna just put a little bit of this down the center of my face and also over this guy that just does not want to leave. And then for foundation, I'm using the XX Revolution Skin Blur Soft Focus Skin Tint. This is a little bit light for me, but we can make it work. I'm going to just put a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and I'm going to use a sponge today because, like I say, I want a light just to even everything out. I don't want like a heavy layer of foundation, so I'm just going in with a light layer of this just to smooth things out, cancel out redness, but I don't want too much coverage. I want the skin to still look very natural. Then I'm going in with the classic, the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. I'm wearing this in the shade 4 Extra Fair, and I'm just keeping this really tight into that inner corner just to cancel out the eye bags, but I don't want this to really go anywhere else on my face. I just want it, like I say, to brighten up around the eyes. And I find that blending in concealer and things with a sponge rather than a brush dials down the coverage a little bit. I mean, it's still covering everything that it needs to cover, but it just makes it look really nice and natural, like blends it into the skin really nicely. So the skin is really nice and smoothed out, perfected but not too heavy. So I'm going in with the Collection Gorgeous Glow Contour Stick, and I'm going to be quite precise with this. I want a little bit of shape, but I don't want it to, I'm going to be going in with bronzer as well. I don't want this one to take over, and I am going to use a brush to blend this out. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I just find that this is the best one for blending out like cream contour, cream bronzer, everything like that. So I'm just keeping that on the cheeks, like keeping it in the hollow of the cheeks rather than like what I would normally do where I blend it up onto the cheeks and make the cream bronzery element of this more on my face. I'm keeping this very precise and just making that shadow. Then, like I say, I am going in with a bronzer as well. So this is the 17 Glow and Define bronzer. This is in 010, so it's the lightest shade. And this is a matte bronzer. It's quite cool toned still, which is obviously the vibe that we're going for. And I'm just going to, with a fluffy brush, blend this over and further out than where we put that cream one. So this is starting to add a little bit of warmth, but it's not like the most warm bronzer in my collection. I really like it for this sort of a look where it's still sort of accentuating those shadows, but it's not too orangey and summery. And then the blush that I'm using is also Collection. This is the Filter Finish Liquid Blush Light Wand, and this is in Peach Pleasure, my blush of the summer, and I'm not giving it up for autumn. I absolutely love this blush. I feel like this will just add a really nice amount of colour to the skin. I love this blush so much. So I'm just bouncing over that blush to make sure that it's really nicely blended in, and that's adding what was very matte skin, that's adding a really nice level of glow, you know? So I'm gonna go off and do my brows. I'm gonna use the Essence Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil in dark brown and the e.l.f. Wow Brow in brunette. So I'll be right back when I've got some brows on my head. I do feel like if we were going like full 90s, I definitely wouldn't have done my brows as full as what I have done, but I'm taking the inspiration that I want and leaving the 90s brows well and truly in the 90s. So for the eyes, I'm going back in with the contour stick, and I've got quite a dense brush, and I am just going to wiggle the brush on the top of this contour stick, and I'm using this as like an eye base rather than using my Beauty Bay eye primer. I'm going to use something that's a little bit closer to the colour that I want on the eyes. So I've got that contour stick on there, and I'm going to start tapping this onto the eyes, and then we are going in with eyeshadow as well, but this is just starting the colour. So that is the contour stick just all over the eye and like blended out. Now of course you could just go in with a bronzer or more of like a cool tone bronzer to create the same sort of look, but I'm going to be using the W7 Moonglade palette, specifically this shade on the bottom row, which is called Glaze, which is, I feel like, the perfect tone for my skin tone for this sort of a look. So I'm going in with still quite a dense brush, and I'm just going to tap into that Glaze shade, and I'm going to tap it basically all over where we put that contour stick, and it will be very, very similar, but this will just mattify it down and like set it in basically, and intensify the colour ever so slightly. So then once I have packed all of that colour on, at this stage it's like not blended at all. I'm going in with a completely clean fluffy brush, and I'm just going to buff over the edges, so it's like dispersing the colour that's already there. I'm not adding any more, and this will just blend it in. I'm going to go back in, now that all of this is blended, back in with that first brush, and I'm going to sort of intensify the lash line ever so slightly. I'm going in with another matte shade called Moss, this one here. So it's slightly greeny, almost more like a khaki sort of a shade, so 90s. And I'm just tapping a really little bit of that just on like the side of the brush, and I'm going to just tap this along the lash line, but like on the outer half. And then I'm just cleaning off the brush and tapping along to blend it in ever so slightly, almost like a smoky wing, but I'm not winging it out, like just like I said, to intensify the lash line a little bit, add a little bit of something. So it's just a little something, just a tiny little bit of something. So I'm going to go ahead and add mascara. I'm using the Beauty Bay High Key mascara, and I'm just going to do a few layers of this, build it up a little bit. So to finish off this 90s look is the lips, and I'm going in with the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in 01 Cinnamon Spice. It's a different one than the one that I use every single day. So I'm going to draw on the lips with this, and you'll see it's very much a brown tone. It's very much a cinnamon spice sort of a tone. And I am like drawing the lip line, like drawing it in ever so slightly, like across the lip, so that when I go in with the next product, it all like looks seamless on the lip. This is the e.l.f. Glossy Lip Stain in Cinnamon Dreamz. So we're going full out cinnamon today. And that is a statement lip. I feel like I need a little bit more bronzer, and then I'm probably done. Yes, a tiny little bit more colour in the skin, and I feel like that is the 90s look. Not that I was there for a lot of the, well, I was there for more than half of the 90s, but like I was a child as the 90s finished. So this is a finished look. Let me know what you think. If there's any other looks that you want to see, any other autumnal looks that you'd like to see on my channel, do let me know. Like I say, I am posting every single day in October, so I have a lot of videos to film. I've got a lot of ideas to come up with, so I would love it if you would let me know what you want to see. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, but until next time, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Bye!